So good evening, welcome to the Donny Chaingang. Apologies that it's a little bit dark in here tonight. I know that's a bonus because you can't really see me. We've just been having a little bit of a play around with some of the things in the studio, and the one thing we didn't do is turn the lights on over much, but you know what? It's probably a good thing. You can't really see me all that well. We will be doing something about that in the way through, and just waiting to see Russ come back online as well. So we have a few other things to do. So first of all, let's say hello to Russ. I'm hoping he's just going to be on the end of the line here on OTE Week on the Donny Cycling YouTube channel with the Donny Chaingang. So let's see if we can get hold of the man himself, of Russ Downing. Russ, are you there? Is there anybody there, Russ? Let's have a little... Oh, we have him, hopefully. Russ, are you with us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
And we can hear you, so that's got to be a bonus. And definitely an improvement over some of the previous weeks.
Yeah, I don't know what was happening. I was watching the channel just last night, catching up, and yeah, I wasn't there for the start. I was there at the end, so that's all right.
Well, that's the time that you do need to be there, isn't it? When you get there at the end of the day. And we come across the line and we're into the second of our OTE rides this week. And we've got more goodies to give away to OTE members. But also, a quick heads up for members of the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club. We've got a talk with Annie that I think you're going to be going along to as well.
Yeah, nutrition talk with Annie. So, yeah, all in your email, sign up for that. Was it Friday night, yeah?
Yeah, so, week on Friday, and it's at 7 o'clock, if I remember correctly. And that is going out. All the members of the DCG gang, the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club, have got the link, the email into getting their limited numbers, because, of course, we're keeping this a real quality event. And already, I think we've had 6 people already take some of those 30 tickets. So, guys, get in there quick if you're a member of the DCG gang, the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club. If we fill it, we may well do another, but let's see how that goes. Now, we've got some OTE goodies to give away. We had 5 prize winners last time, didn't we, Russ? They were... they've got to have some of that orange, and orange is apparently your favourite flavour.
It is, yeah. Can't wait for that to drop in the door. Yeah, it's hydro tabs. Been a godsend this last year or so. Punching it out in the pain cave. So yeah, another flavour to the mix. And I think they do the lemon one, sort of blackcurrant. The caffeine-based one, I think, is like is grapefruit or something.
It is indeed, yeah, grapefruit. It is
orange. So yeah, you've got a wide choice there, which is good.
And the orange is a pre-launch special for Donny Chaingang members. So let's quickly jump back in. I'm going to leave Russ. You just stay on the line. So Russ is just staying online. And look at that, as if by magic, whilst Russ was talking, the lights got turned on by somebody. Brilliant. Right, we have here the great big box, the OTE Fuel Goodie Box, which contains in here the names of all of the DCG gang members, with the exception of the people who have been members and have already won. The 5 people who won on Tuesday. We are doing one rider, one prize. It's pretty old school here on the Chain Gang. Russell, remember, one rider, one prize. So, giving this a massive shake. And it is, I've got to be careful because I don't want them going everywhere like confetti. But let's pull 5 names out of the hat here. So the first name is going to be Joe Jebb. So Joe, we've got a orange hydro. Let's give him a bit of a stir around. An orange hydro coming your way pack, and it's a bottle bundle. So there's a duo bar, which you have to. Excuse me, I've just literally been sticking one down my neck. Darren Topless, Darren. From Sherwood Pinestone, you've also won a pack as well. I know Darren will make good use of that. He was on good form on Tuesday. Next up is going to be the big man himself. It's Sean Ferron. So Sean, another one of our quick riders, is going to have a fun time on that big climb tonight. Sean, you might have needed this earlier. And our rider's also getting a bottle as well, so give it another bit of a mix-up here. So that's 3 out of 5, so 2 more to go. This is my backwards counting. Next up it's Keith Richardson. Keith, a keen chain ganger, and of course a member of the DCG gang, the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club at the in there. So that's 4 so far. So Joe Jebb, Darren Topless, Sean Ferron, and Keith Richardson. Right, let's have a look. Last one. Last one coming out is... It's all the Keiths. It's Keith Hayward. So, Keith Hayward, Keith, you've got goodies going to be coming your direction from OTE. Seal the box back up again now with the names of everybody else. Don't forget, guys, we have a 30% discount this month only with the riders. And Russ, I know you've going to have been making sure you're all fueled up. And it's a great offer, isn't it? 30% off the OTE for our members.
Yeah, they do some great products. Not only just drinks and food. They do a lot of nutrition sort of tablets and supplements and that. So jump on the site there and see if anything takes your fancy. They even got quite a bit of merchandise, buffs and beanies and things. So they're going to look after you. 30%. Fill your boots and fill your basket.
Definitely. And lots of great offers coming up. And we've got, of course, Fella Skin, and we've got Halo coming up with giveaways this month as well. Well, Russ, I know we've got quite a tough course out there. Give us a really quick heads up of what we've got coming. We've got about 2 minutes 15 to the start.
It looks hard on paper. It's got a little bump in the middle, as we say. So you always look at a profile at the start of the bike race and go, "Ooh, that looks nasty." But hopefully we can keep it together. We're going to do one lap tempo, and then we've got another 19k, and stay around Yellow Beacon, and we'll see what we can do. I'm just getting the Mickey taken out of me on the chat. Fill your basket. Someone's typing in a big block capitals, but yeah. Fill your basket, get 30% discount. You're on a winner.
Definitely on a winner. So we've got yourself as Yellow Beacon, and we've got Sandy Smith as Red Beacon. And Sandy actually has been up there at the front of the rides, hasn't he? He's been pulling back. We've seen him particularly in places like London, really dragging groups back and going on the offensive. So it'll be interesting to see how he gets on with his Red Beacon duties.
Yeah, I'm looking at Sandy there and thinking, I'd like to do it for swap, actually. Sandy's just been boxing some power out and squeezing the front group. So, yeah, if you fancy a quick beacon swap, Sandy, I'm up for that.
Well, we will see. Russ, we're going to let you go back to making sure the troops are all in order. We've got just a minute to go. Thank you very much, Russ.
Cheers, mate, and congratulations all the OT winners. Can't remember those 5 names, but we'll post it on Facebook. And, yeah, fill your basket.
Fill your basket indeed. So thank you very much to Russ. So as you can see, we're on the Ocean Lava Cliffside loop. We have 2 laps of the 19k circuit and a 2k warm down, which gives us our 40 kilometres. We set off from downtown Watopia. We work our way around the side of the volcano. It's the island, top left hand side of the map, in towards Italian Villas, but taking the right hand turn back down into the undersea tunnels, cutting across as if we're going towards the epic KOM, and then cutting across on the cut across road that takes you across the back of the circuit before dropping back down. So basically going around the back. It's the cut across from the King of the Mountains loop towards the bottom of the other King of the Mountains descent. So we go out and around, and that is going to prove to be very, very interesting indeed, because although, as you can see on there, it looks bumpy on the map, and we've got to say a big thank you to Zwift Hacks and Zwift Insider for the map. What it doesn't show you is where those 2 lots of 146 metres of climbing come in, to total 292. The profile itself, and this gives you a much better idea. As our riders are just starting to head out, we're going to let them form up as a proper group before we switch across to the coverage, because it looks like 1 or 2 people are just fighting to get out of the pens and get into the group. So remember, guys, keep it all together. If you're listening in live, I know lots of you do. So just a quick run over the Velo Viewer profile here. We start directly at the bottom. We go around the course in what is an anti-clockwise loop. And we've got the slight climb up towards the volcano, but instead of going through the S's like we did on Tuesday, we then take the right turn towards the volcano, across the glass bridge, through the volcano, drop down to the side to the causeway across. We then go up towards Italian Villas, down off the other side in towards the tunnels again, but what we then do is we go basically taking a right hand turn, we go up on to the cut across. You can see this draggy climb that takes us across, then drops back down again. Now the red section, the gradients on here go up to just under 10% on one of the sections, and this means that our riders do need to keep it pretty dialed together. So let's take a little bit of a look out on the course. Let's have a little bit of a listen. I think the guys already well underway, and we're just going to keep our eyes on I think it's going to be Sandy Smith, our red beacon, first of all. So just taking a look out at Sandy, just in at the back of the group there. As you can see from the map, Sandy just going to be heading up towards the top of the turn, and if we take a little bit of a look across, we are going to just see that Sandy is just nicely rolling at the back of that pack, and one or two late joiners just coming in, but as you can see, Sandy comfortably in this group, and the pack taking the right hand turn, and they're going to be dropping down into towards the glass bridge, in towards the volcano. Remember guys, aim of this is to stay with the yellow beacon. So remember, 40k's in total, 2 laps of 19k to come here on OTE week. If you are a member of the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club, the DCG gang, then please guys, make sure that you tell us if you want to get on to the talks. We've got that exclusive OTE talk. We're limiting it in numbers to give you some real quality time with Annie Simpson. Annie, of course, who has studied and has a degree, in fact, in sports nutrition, and is the perfect person to run the sports talk. And we are going to find that Annie has got loads of details, loads of information for you, and plenty of time for a Q&A on there. You book it, the links to book in on the places are in the members' email, so make sure you're in there. If you're not a member, why not? It's how we keep the gang on the road. So remember guys, please make sure that you sign up for the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club, the DCG gang, and that makes sure that we can keep the show on the road, and we get you lots of great offers. We've got 30% off OTE all the way through March. We've got the giveaways, and we've given away now 10 packs of hydro tabs. We've also, of course, got great discounts from people like Velaskin from Halo. We also have, of course, Pretty Gritty, and of course, Grand Tour coffee. And I've got to say, I've got my Grand Tour coffee on the go. So you all know the details of the course. Let's dive into our big screen and catch up with all of the action here on the Donny Chaingang with myself, Matt Payne, bringing you all the details of what's happening out on the ride here live on the Downhill Cycling YouTube channel. So apologies for the quick break, just taking on board some full guests from the Grand Tour coffee. Don't forget, of course, the new Downhill Cycling blend, or the old Downhill Cycling blend of Grand Tour coffee is available. Just message Dean, and Dean will make sure that you've got everything you need. Now, just in with Sandy at the back of this pack, and looks like Mr. Richardson keeping company. And this is the one and only prize winner, Mr. Keith Richardson. So Richardson at the moment just pedalling along nice and smoothly, and Keith Richardson, one of our winners of those OTE goodies, and I know he's going to put it to good use. You don't get the Tron bike without. And looks like Sandy Smith just sitting on his wheel at the moment, and Keith just ticking along at a couple of 100 watts here, 99 beats per minute, 59 revs per minute, just moving around relatively slow revs at the moment. 6 seconds in front is Mr. Radcliffe. And Radcliffe at the moment just coming out from the tunnels. Russ is saying too, that doesn't mean that's how many coffees he's had, how many tabs he's put in his water bottle from OTE. It does mean that's how many watts per kilo we're looking for, guys. 2 watts per kilo. Remember, if you're a big rider, you don't need to give them all 2 watts per kilo. That's quite simply because of the way that Zwift works. On the flat, it's the more power you kick out, the faster you go. On the hills, it's the more watts per kilo. So at the moment, Radcliffe just closing in on Saysel. Looks like Sandy Smith behind. Saysel currently sitting as the last man in that bunch, and if we take a look back From Seychelles, you can just see Radcliffe trying to close down, the RAF man closing down on to. Remember, the aim of this is to stay around the yellow beacon. The yellow beacon is where it is fastest and quickest, and how you'll get the fastest ride out of it. Now, lots of people talking with AD, and we haven't said too much about AD this time round because we ran out of superlatives for an absolute legend. AD dead, of course. AD being out there riding the Johnny Groats to Land's End. Land's End to Johnny Groats. Let's get it the right way round. That replicating the real life one that he did, and all for charity, all there to make sure that he was raising money for some fantastic cause, and that is for a mental health charity, subject close to Eddie's heart after the sad demise of his brother. So please, guys, remember to get on there. I think last I saw it was ticked over the £5,000 mark. So please, guys, if you've got a few pennies spare, make sure you dive on there. Now, just jumping in with Scott Thwaites at the moment, and just keeping an eye on here. And I don't think Mr. Thwaites is as mad as AD. Although he's a pro, putting in plenty of miles. 4 days for the Land's End to John Gross is a serious piece of reckoning, and definitely not the easiest thing to do. So Scott Thwaites just rolling in there. Just going to try and jump on in with AD. Easier said than done. We're just going to see what he looks like. His avatar should be pretty worn out as well. That I suspect AD just in the Beers and Bikes jersey. Well, he's still doing 77 revs per minute. I noticed he hasn't put the heart rate monitor on. I don't blame you, mate. And AD, of course, covering that distance in 4 days. It was well over 200 miles a day, and I had the honour of joining AD on a few hours of the ride on the Sunday and the Monday, and he was absolutely nailing it. It was really impressive to see, and got to say a massive thank you to Velaskin and to OTE, who looked after him as well. The guys who support the sport, well, they're the guys supporting the Donny Chaingang, and they're the guys we want you to support as well. So make sure that you use those discount codes. Make sure that you get yourselves onto the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club. Get those memberships going to you, and then all those discount codes are going to be available for you to use, and save yourselves a packet. It's just really simple. It costs you £20 for the month to join. All the links on the Facebook page, on the Donny Chaingang pages on the website. But remember, of course, without them, we don't get to put the ride on, you don't get to ride it, and we basically can't keep on giving you such great value for money in terms of the giveaways, the discount codes, and of course things like nutrition talks, access to jerseys and riders as well. Now, we've got some massive giveaways. We're giving away a whole load of OTE pre-launch specials exclusive to the Donny Chaingang, coming out to our riders first here on the Chaingang, and those orange hydro tabs going to be going out, that pack going out to our riders, the 10 riders having their names drawn. So that is going to be Daryl Tushel-Waller, it's Mick Chappell, Sonia Inslee, Chloe Gagan, and along with Phil Jones on Tuesday's ride. Today we drew 5 more names: Joe Jebb, Darren Topless, Keith Richardson, Keith Hayward, and Sean Ferron. All 10 of you are going to be getting those OTE goodies. Everybody else, don't forget, of course, we have some great giveaways. Every single member of the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club, the DCG gang, is going to be getting samples this month from the guys at Velaskin for free, gratis, and there'll be a link coming to you on your emails that will get you that. So please, guys, make sure you keep an eye on those emails for that link coming in your direction, and just trying to find the man that is Velaskin in amongst the group here. Easier said than done, because it is absolutely packed out there. So here we go, just riding in with the man himself. It is Chris Idell. Chris, of course, a very quick rider in his own right. And Chris riding in the orange and grey of Swift, which also happens to be the Velaskin colours as well. And I've got to say a massive thank you to Chris. And of course, we'll be sending those samples out to our riders. We'll send you the link of how you register for that. But all of our members of the DCG gang will be able to lay their hands on free samples of Velaskin, and we'll get those directly to our members in a deal that we've done. Don't forget, we're also going to be giving away a whole load of freebies going out with Velaskin. So we've got some great vouchers and some big sample pots going out to our riders as well. And that is going to be happening in Velaskin week. So that is 2 weeks from this week. We're also going to be having a Halo giveaway, a Goodbye Winter Halo Spring giveaway. And that will be happening in the very last week of March, the very first week of April. Now, on the intervening weeks, we're also going to be bringing you the Women's Chaingang, the Women's Wednesdays. So we have 2 more Women's Wednesdays in the current block, along with potentially 1 or 2 more, but we are just keeping a little bit of an eye on that. And that is quite simply because we are just keeping our eyes monitoring the numbers, making sure that we keep an eye on everybody who is riding, so that we know that we're doing some good. Remember, the whole point of the Donny Chaingang was set up in the first place by Russ and by myself, bringing you the Donny Chaingang on Zwift, so that all our riders have something to look forward to. And just seeing one of our newer riders, Mr. Kerrigan on here, Ken Kerrigan of Chefrec, jumping on the Chaingang. We've got some first timers on the Chaingang, and great to see sitting just in front of that yellow beacon. He knows exactly where he needs to be. I'm sure he's had a great briefing. Just jumping in with Phil Jones in here. Phil riding nice and smoothly, and Phil, another of our winners on the Donny Chaingang here. Winner on Tuesday, and that was of one of our OTE bundles. Just on his heels is Carl Kapinski, and Carl Kapinski, of course, one of our key riders. Joe Munden, new member to the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club. Just riding on the outside. Joe, a very fast rider, and as you can see, clearly spent plenty of time on Zwift, more than 50,000 metres of ascending done. Joe, a great road rider, great in action, a toughie when it's out there, that's for sure. Somebody I wouldn't want to take on the bike, no doubt about it. And good to see Joe in on the gang and joining the supporters club and in the draw. Now, the other thing that we haven't mentioned for the Donny Chaingang supporters in the DCG gang is that we have, of course, got a certain Mr. Ben Swift's National Championships jersey, his National Champions jersey, the white jersey with the iconic red, white and blue stripes. Now that is going to be drawn on Monday, and Russ and myself and Ben just working out the logistics of how we're going to do that, but keep an eye on that, because we will be bringing you that's a draw, and it is to get Ben Swift's genuine signed Team Ineos jersey, and that is going out to one of our members who had their membership in before the cut-off, which was on the 1st of March at 9 o'clock in the evening. And that was basically, the more membership months that you have at that point, the more entries you get into the Chaingang. So we're just going to take a little bit of a run back through the gang here, just trying to get back to Russ at the moment. That's easier said than done. As you can see, this group moving through pretty quickly. Just jumping in with Russ. What bike's he on? What colour Pinarello? It's the yellow one again. Interesting choice of wheels from Russ here. Now, I think he's actually gone for a disc. We might have to wait until he gets out of the pack to get a better look at the bike here. But certainly looking to be, yep, disc wheel on the back, deep wheel on the front. So Russ pretty confident that it's not necessarily going to split on the hills, that it's all about staying in the pack. Either that or he's slightly forgetful. I know he's had a busy day like me trying to keep up with everybody. As we head away from the tunnels towards the Epic KOM, and just making our way up over the top, just alongside the seaplane and the flying boats. Seaplanes have pontoons on them. They are on the top in the orange and white, and just below, that's the seaplane. The flying boat is the big one. That's actually an 8-engine one. There's not many of those ever in existence, has to be said. But this is Swift. We can make things to do exactly what we want, and that's exactly what Swift have done. And that is one you want to keep an eye out for. Now, Charlie Babbitt, I've just seen come in and through this group, looking good. All riding around. Russ, Daltrey in here, Ambler, Williams. Just working my way through. We've got loads of riders in here. Mason is in here. And now this is the nasty little climb up on to the top of the island. This is a real nasty stinging climb. Let's head out and away from Mason. You can see the gradient here on the riders running alongside Russ, so you just see that this really is going to take its toll on people's legs. Good to see that Miss Cookie has joined us along with Foxy. That is Liz Jane Lay in there, so good to see lots of our women here. And don't forget, looks like Coldclough in here as well. The women's Chaingang next week is going to be a real interesting. We've got Caroline Mansfield, I think, the CEO of the Pretty Gritty, on the Red Beacon duties, being led by Emma Payne. Emma, I think, in this group, and just see on the left hand side, I think Leg's probably feeling it after the racing. Just seen a couple more riders in the members gang. Looks like Fletcher, Owen Fletcher in this group. We're just going to drop to the side of Fletcher, just on the side here. And Owen, of course, another of the regulars on the Donny Chaingang in the supporters club. Maddie Smith in here. Good to see Maddie back in the proper colours, back in the green again. And that's what we want to see here. So Maddie, of course, former national champion in this group, riding comfortably in that group. Just seen our women's leader, our women's ride leader, that is Emma Payne, just sat in this group. And Emma riding on that green Tromback match in the kit in the green and blue of her AO race team. And I think our Yellow Beacon Russ just riding alongside our women's Yellow Beacon there as well. So remember, the aim here to pull everybody back together again as we go up over the top. Looks like Eddie Dench in this group. Ian Brooks in here. Brooks again, another of our riders in the Donny Chaingang supporters club. So as you can see, lots of the really good riders in here. Mr. Dryberg in here. So well, just asking, can we have the go-go after the top next lap rather than at the bottom? Well, nobody knows where it's going to be. Russ and I have conversations about it beforehand, but that's what makes this ride so much fun, in that it is a very dynamic moment when that is going to happen. Now, just having a little look, looks like Miss Cookie's in here now. Cookie usually chooses to go for the flatter option of the races, however, of the ride, sorry. The looks like Miss Cookie is in here now, doing the business on the group riding up here. And good to see Sarah in action once again. Sarah, of course, in her new custom built pain cave, built purely for the Donny Chaingang riding that she does. Occasionally she lets everybody else get into the pain cave, and Ethan doing the business fairly regularly. But as you can see, Cookie out of the saddle and riding along plenty of our regular riders here. Looks like we've got Thompson just sitting nicely in this group, holding the wheels in there as well. As we are going to jump across, the man responsible for the bear in action, the cartoons, is Carl Kopinski. Make sure you go on to Carl Kopinski. But easiest thing, go to one of the search engines beginning with G, ending with E, and got Google in the middle. Then you'll find Carl Kopinski, artist. Put him in and then marvel at this man's artistic talent. I got a H in GCSE art. I only got a H and not a U because they wouldn't let you have a U on the very first year that GCSEs came out. This man has so much talent when it comes to drawing, when it comes to pen drawings, and I have to say the bear cartoons are really, really great. Make sure you go onto the site and have a look, because Carl's not just a handy bike rider, a supporter of the Chaingang from the very early days, but he's also, of course, a very, very talented artist. So make sure you go on there and have a look at some of the artwork that Carl has done. A man on his way back from injury. In fact, not that you can tell by the pace he's able to kick out. A very fast rider as well. And great to see Carl in action. Carl, of course, a coach rider by Downing Cycling, and Good to see so many of the Donny Cycling Coach riders in here. Just seeing one of our members in here. This is Julie Leodis. Julie, of course, riding for the Bolsover and District Cycling Club. Possibly the best cycling club in the whole of the area. And if Carlsberg did cycling clubs, this would definitely be the one. Just got Alan Parsons alongside. I might be slightly biased in that opinion, of course, because it is my local club as well. So let's just take a little bit of a drop back to Sandy. Looks like Sandy having a bit of a lonely ride here. So Sandy Smith just ticking his way along. Not going too mad at the moment. And just keeping a check on where everybody is. It looks like Ian Bibby potentially a little bit behind him. Let's go up the road to Mr. Wiley. Simon Wiley with a power dropout. That's not what you need, Simon. Simon, of course, GB Junior, and Simon out of the running with that power dropout. We're just going to drop back over, and it looks like the main bunch going nicely across the top, dropping in with Sonia Inslee. Sonia, another of our winners on the Donny Chaingang, and that is, of course, she's actually won more than one prize on Donny Chaingang, such as the volume of prizes we give out, but the random prize give out that went out was, of course, the OTE goodies, and Sonia going to be getting one of those pre-launch orange hydro tabs, and great to see Sonia in action as well. So the call is up. If you are listening in on the YouTube channel, please back to yellow, guys. Back to yellow. We need to keep this group together. It's certainly looking like it's breaking up. Top right hand side of the screen, you can call up on the map, and as we can clearly see that as you look down from the side, not good for anybody who has got a fear of heights. If we take a little bit of a view up, it's a long way down to the ocean off the side here. The groups are definitely splitting up, so it is all about making sure you keep it together, please, guys. We want to get everybody in on the ride nice and comfortably, and a long loop across here as these riders make their way around the Cliffside. It's not called the Cliffside lava loop for nothing, because we are running our way along that side. The flows are just on the right hand side there. So make sure that you keep an eye on this. So it looks like Harrison doing a great job of being the voice of reason, and good to see a lot of our riders who all know the score, making sure they keep the ride together. Just seen Chloe Gagan in here. Good to see Gagan. Gagan, of course, is another of our winners, and Orange Hydro Toast going to Chloe. And I know Chloe has signed up for the, just said on the message board that she's signed up for the OTE Nutrition Talk with Annie Simpson, Simo, a regular on the Chaingang as well. So going to be really interesting to hear Annie and get the latest on the keeping yourself well fueled, as well as hydrated and recovering properly, whether you're on the Chaingang riding in the real world outside, although at the moment that's more about keeping warm, I think. So remember, guys, if you're a member of the DCG gang, we've got those talks coming up. Links are in the email that came out today. All our members get the links for the rides directly to their inbox, and that is coming directly in on generally on a Saturday or a Sunday. Come the links for the chain gang through the week, including the women's chain gangs. Also a course preview, also getting a course profile, getting links to Swift Insider, links to Velo Viewer in there as well. Getting the heads up before anybody else, getting those exclusive offers, exclusive discounts, and of course getting the chance to win lots of goodies on the way through. But please, guys, make sure that you're in there. Once that email goes out on the weekend, then we regularly then give our riders a reminder. That's usually at about 5 o'clock on a Tuesday and on a Thursday prior to the rides, and that is quite simply so that our riders have no excuses to miss the chain gang, and to make sure it's really easy for them to find those links. Now, just looks like the group just in front of Russ holding reasonably well. So the group are riding strongly here. We're just going to work our way through. Looks like John Wilden here from Bellevue. Of course, Bellevue, one of our key supporters, one of the key men who make it happen. Along with this man, this is Ian Taylor. And Taylor looking like he's pretty comfy in this group. Just taking a look. Got the Oakleys on, of course. And don't forget, of course, Oakley August was all to do with 1080, the store for all of your sunglasses wear. If you are one of those weird freaks of nature that Oakleys don't suit, then don't forget they do other brands. Why you'd want to wear anything other than Oakley, I have no idea. But remember, of course, in from 1080 is the man responsible for that, and we are going to be looking out for some sunshine a little bit later on, and in fact for members in April I think Ian has got something special lined up once again. So it's going to be a really packed few weeks, a few months on the Donny Chaingang, and packed for the members. Don't forget, of course, we know the sun comes out. We know you're going to want to ride outside, but those offers are just as good whether you're riding outside or inside. And that is true whether it is the fueling up, whether it's the shades, or whether it's going to be to sit on the saddle for prolonged periods of time like AD Dench, or whether it is going to be one of our partners who are looking after our riders if they have a problem. So please, guys, remember, make sure you get your memberships in. It allows us to keep the chain gang up and running all the way through, and hundreds of riders. I think tonight we are around about the 300, just under the 300 riders. Don't forget, they don't all come on here. And as Craig Herring is quite rightly saying, don't forget to fill your basket. Let's hope it doesn't have too many holes like a dodgy fishing net or anything. So just going to drop back to our red beacon once we drop from Mr. Bibby. He says famously, trying to get off the back of the group to Sandy Smith. Here we go. Sandy looks, Sandy, you might get some company now, mate. Give it a bit of a push on. You've got at least one rider up the road, I think. Let's take a little bit of a look. I think Sandy is going to find at least one rider in front. I think it's going to be Turnbull at 4 seconds. Simon Wiley pushing on behind is at 6.7. Now, Simon, I know, is a very competent young man. He's going to be able to close that gap down pretty quickly. Simon just trying to close down on our beacon. Now, Simon had a dropout. Simon is a national standard rider. He's ridden internationally for GB at cyclocross. Very, very talented mountain bike riders. Loads of skill on a bike. Very jealous of his ability to move the bike around on a race route. And as you can see, Mr. Wiley trying to chase back into the lead group, absolutely hurtling his way past our duo there, which is Turnbull and Sandy Smith. And now he's got a big gap because he's got to make up 1 minute 22 on Liam Callaway and 1:57 on Charlie Babbitt. So we're going to leave Simon pushing on for a little moment. We're going to drop across to Turnbull here. And this is Turnbull sitting on the wheel of Sandy Smith. That's the way to do it. Jump on the back wheel. Let Sandy push that pace. And if you get the message board going, you'll get the communication. Let's drop Mr. Turnbull ride on. There we go. One for Mr. Turnbull. Let's have a little look at Sandy. We'll give Sandy a ride on as well, because doing a great job there already in action as our beacon. Simon Wiley 20 seconds up the road, but he is chasing this big group, and as you can see, it is really interesting to watch those timings because they do jump about quite a lot. Now looks like Mr. Bibby has managed to get himself put back into that pack. Just going to try and jump in with Ian. Let's have a little look. Ian Bibby just on the side here. We always try and get a good look at some of our professional riders just to see what their avatar's looking like, see if any of them are getting the... So Malcolm Jeffries, Mr. Jeffries, what birthday is it today? What number? You have to give the birthday number away. So happy birthday. 72 today. Is that Will or is that Mr. Jeffries? If it's 72, anybody who's 72 and riding the Chaingang, you must be mental. I'd be quite happy riding my bike at 72. Shouldn't say that really, should I? Not when my old man's still out riding. He's currently 82, 83, and he's riding the bike every day, and even rides indoors. Haven't yet got him on the chain gang. It will happen yet. I'm working on it. So just jumping in with Kerrigan. Let's just have a little look and see how he's doing at the moment. Looking pretty smooth, 142 beats per minute. Clearly hasn't gone pop yet. And looking like pretty comfortable there. 142 beats, 90 reps per minute. Nice pedal cadence there, keeping it nice and smooth. 225 watts. Just seeing Archie Allen in the script. You're going to try and jump in with Archie. Archie riding for the Cycle Academy out from Scotland. Of course, they are aiming on pushing a lot of riders out on to the continent. Looking forward to the time when they're actually able to go race outdoors and getting plenty of miles in. Just sat at the back here. Archie Allen joined by his teammate, in fact, Alfie Atton, who is in here. And got to say a big thank you to the guys emailing and keeping us in touch with what is going on with the Cycling Academy, with Jimmy Mack, James doing the business as the head honcho there, and really good to see the riders moving well. So let's take a little bit of a look. Who else have we got from the gang up in action? All these riders riding well. Now we could be really mean, and we could see how Russ is doing. I'm just trying to find him actually on the board. Easier said than done, it has to be said. So just in with Russ. Apologies for the short break. I was having to concentrate. I had a coffee in one hand from Grand Tour Coffee. I was in danger of knocking over my OTE bottle and trying to find Russ. Let's see if we can get hold of Russ, see how hard he's breathing. He's currently at about 102 watts. Let's see if he's on the move. Russ, how are you doing?
Hey up, mate. A little power nap then.
Yeah, it's a little bit steady. This is what we want to see mostly. Everybody seems to be staying together.
Yeah, it's working well. It's we're squeezing 2s, 3s now, but it's keeping tight, you know, the gradient's not going up, so it's nice, you know, everyone's good in the draft. Bit of banter, you know, bit of birthday wishes. People need to set their clocks and that because they're late joining, but yeah, it should be fun.
Exactly, and this is what we want on the first lap of the Chaingang, isn't it? The whole point is that people warm up. You wouldn't just jump on it in Donny and just go from the gun. You'd just get laughed out of town, wouldn't you?
I would just let you go, or just give you a clip down the ear. So, you know, it's got to be controlled. There's a point on any of the chain gangs where everyone knows that's where it's going to go. So, you know, you stay cool before then, save your energy, and don't fill your basket too early.
That's going to be another one. We'll have to be careful, or Carl will be doing some more drawings of a bear with a basket, which is quite a scary thought.
You know, an A4 sheet of paper with all the slogans on soon, like, but it's all good fun, mate. You know, I obviously made someone's night with that little one-liner, so yeah, I'd be enjoying it.
Yep, definitely, and good to see so many riders out. I think just shy of the 300 mark again on the Thursday, and have been asked what's going to happen in the summer. Is there going to be a chain gang? And I think I probably got it right when I said, "What do you mean? What we're going to do? We're going to do what we did last summer. We're just going to keep on motoring through."
You know, there's a time and a place, so we're all good. You know, we'll do a Tuesday and a Thursday. We'll keep it going. People want to ride, we're here. The DCG's not going anywhere, so keep signing up for that DCG members gang, and we'll keep throwing the discounts at you and the offerings and things. So yeah, enjoy it.
Yeah, definitely.
My breathing's getting a bit.
I know. I did notice that now that we've hit the hill, all of a sudden you've just got off your heart rate, just so people can't rip too much at you. But it's going well, mate, and looks like a nice big group out and around you at the moment. So we are going to leave you to it, I think, if we can. The helicopter just refusing to fly as we go up through the tunnel there. So, Russ, good luck. We are holding our breath for the go, go, go. And it looks like the group riding really well at the minute.
Yeah, behaving well. So, we might give them when they behave, they get a good go, go, go. So we'll see. I might not pick it on the downhill section tonight.
We shall see. I don't believe that for a second.
Got to stay on your toes, It's like, oh yeah, so-and-so's attacked. No one sends you a warning when someone's going to put you in the gutter, does it? So
exactly. Excellent. Right, we will leave you to it. Get that breathing sorted, and hopefully talk to you at the finish.
Cheers, mate. See you later.
So great to catch up with Russ there out on the Chaingang, watching more of our regular riders. Just riding in at the moment with Fiona Kesteven. Now, Kesteven is regularly right up there as the first female rider in over the line, generally up in the top 2 or 3, and looks like in some really good company. Kesteven looks like Tim Cooper and George Cooper pretty much alongside. Got to say big thank you to Tim. A lot of hard work from Tim in making sure we get the coverage out to you. Our time, like hopefully round about 1 second for you, between 1 and 1.5 seconds in bringing you the show, and of course trying to make sure it's super smooth and super clear. It doesn't always work when there's so many riders jam-packed together. This is what we want to see. Look at how busy this group is. It is absolutely solid, and these riders absolutely jammed together. You can just see nobody's going anywhere. Everybody knows that the way to ride the Chaingang is to sit in the group, to save your energy for as long as possible. So whilst we're just making our way in and through the volcano, we're just going to dive back a little bit to Sandy Smith back here. And it looks like Sandy just having a nice tick over and keeping those legs turning, and I think just hanging on there for Mr. Turnbull, who is just behind. If we get the drone up and flying in the air, we should be able to just about make him out. There he's just coming round towards the sign behind, and Turnbull currently about 7 seconds. Raccoon is in front at about 16 seconds in front, and just going to keep an eye. This is Halliday just up the road there. So Halliday about 136 up from your man there. It looks like it is pretty busy, but these riders are well spread out on the way round. We're going to jump in with Miss Cookie. Cookie up on to the bridge. Let's jump in with Mr. Hopkinson just on the other end of this. Looks like Miss Cookie just looking for some assistance from Sandy. Sandy's a long way behind Cookie. He really is going to have to put the boot in to get there. Let's jump up to Mr. Singleton, Andy Singleton, another of our regulars on the Donny Chaingang, and great to see Andy in action once again. Looks like there's a group going to form not far behind Andy there, because we've got Andy, we've got Emma, we've got Kingston, Kirby, Salmat, Bolt in there. Hopkinson's not all that far behind. So it could well be that we're going to find a group of forming around this Andy Singleton sort of area, and there's quite a few riders in this group. A lot of riders using the Donny Chaingang as a recovery day, as well as the guys on the front using it as a fast day. And as you can see, this is a really good group here. Looks like Salamat in this group riding well. So Salamat's just pushing on here alongside Kirby. So it's Kirby on the front, then Salamat, Singleton and Payne in this group. Looks like Kingston going to see them coming very shortly. How far behind? Not very far at all. And this is going to form into another good group. In front looks like Kushak, Julie Leodis, Kerrigan going to be close to forming another group. Remember, it's all about getting a group together, form a bunch. If you look at the top of the screen, you can see there's a group clustered around Russ, a yellow beacon, top right hand side on the map, just going up to the top left hand corner. Yellow beacon, that group is the Russ group. Behind our group scattered all over the road, and this is where it now starts to reform into a group. And Kingston here pushing on a little bit, which is potentially foolhardy, because you could get in some serious trouble. We're going to jump back to the main group. This is the Russ group, the bear in here with Charlie Babbitt. Charlie, one of our new members on the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club. Not a new rider on the Chaingang, that is for sure. And Charlie looking pretty smooth here at 142 beats per minute in the blue, tucked nicely into that group. I think Rich Orrell not all that far from him as well. Let's jump in with Orrell. Rich, another of our Donny Chaingang Supporters Club members. We're just going to try and get a view of Rich in action. He's just rolling around with Bibby at the moment, and Matlock in there. Looks like Tom Hepton's in there. The guys are all around the back here. All sitting in exactly the right place, rolling around not too far from Russ. Sonia Inslee sat in this pack. Looks like Radcliffe in here, Scoddon's in here. Ted's in here as well. Let's see if we can see Tonkins in. Ted, of course, one of our regulars on the Donny Chaingang, and we know one of the people who is always going to be in the running, and great to see riding so strongly once again. Just going to keep a check. Looks like Alan Parsons in here. Looks like Alan's tech working today, which is exactly what we want. I'm sure he's had it absolutely nailed after a few issues earlier in the week. So Ted there, Mr. Ridley, Alan Parsons in this group. Tonkins and Craggill are the riders behind, and just starting to feel the pace starting to wind up, and you can see at the moment it is getting busier and busier behind us. It is really starting to put the pressure on. We know that there are about 25 to 30 riders behind these guys, and that is quite simply because as the pace ramps up, that is when you find the riders coming off the back. That's why Russ is in charge of the pace, because Russ is keeping an eye on this. We have a constant communication, not just by the line through to the studio, but also via WhatsApp, as well as a video feed running between Russ and myself constantly, so we always know where people are, how the ride's progressing, and that feeds back into our ride leaders. Same when we've got Emma running the women's rides. We're just going to jump up in the air and just get a good view of these riders to go alongside the waterfalls. So here on OTE week, the Donny Chaingang, the second of our Donny Chaingangs in action. Don't forget, of course, OTE week giveaways of pre-launch exclusives here on the Donny Chaingang. Lots of samples going out to people. Don't forget, of course, we also have that great nutrition talk. We will put more in if we need to. At the moment, we're going to keep those numbers down in each one every time, down low, so that you get some really good quality. Like everything on the Chaingang, we want to do it really, really well. Hopefully you're finding the coverage the best it's been yet, and that's simply because of the amount of work that we put in this, and that's thanks to your work as well. Our members are the guys who make this happen. Without our riders doing the business and becoming members of the DCG gang, we cannot keep on improving the coverage, we cannot keep on improving the ride, and we cannot keep on bringing you all of the action without your support. So guys, if you're a member of the DCG gang, from Russ, myself, from Emma, from all of our Red Beacons, thank you so much. You guys really do make it possible for us to continue doing this. When Russ and I started off, we never ever thought we'd have so much work to do on a ride that we thought might attract, 20, 30 riders at a time and give people something to look forward to. We've got a lot more than that going on now. So just seeing these groups starting to form as the pace has gone up. Mike Killingsworth, Ted Ridley's got a gang. I'm just looking to see whether Andy Hawes is in on this group. It may well be that Hawes is not on the ride tonight, because normally you would find him hanging about with this disreputable bunch. So Ted, Mike Killingsworth in here, Kirkham in here together, and you can see these guys are really well matched. They're basically straight out across the roadway here, and I think it's Mike just jumping on to the front. They've got plenty of riders to sweep up, so if you are Foster, Manier, if you are going to be the guys, Andrews, Roberts, Radcliffe, you're going to see the group coming behind. Looks like Maddie Smith in this group. There's going to be a lot of riders heading your direction. Sean Ferrin in here. We've managed to find Sean. Sean, a winner now. Sean is definitely one of our bigger riders on the Chaingang. He has lost a bit of timber. He's definitely not lost any power. And you just see Sean Ferrin there in the blue, looking good at the moment. And riding very, very strongly. And Sean, one of our winners in the OTE giveaway, and Sean will be getting those prizes to you. Looks like Joe Jarvis in the group. Joe, another of our members of the DCG gang, and Joe are riding nice and smooth here. 83 revs per minute, 183 beats per minute at the moment. And these guys, they're not all that far off that yellow beacon group as they come down, but clearly the pressure is taking its toll on the riders. We're going to go up the road a little bit here if we can. And it looks like Russ is not messing about. He's gone for the go, go, go early. There's going to be a lot of no, 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 because he's gone go, go, go before the climb, before the junction of the climb. Just going to try and make my way right up, it looks like. Just go past Ambrose and Waterhouse, both members of the gang. And we're just going to work our way up towards Russ. It's going to be easier said than done with the pressure being on the front already. Let's see, we dive in. Here we go, in with the Russ Downing at the moment. The bear is in here, and it looks like there are people already mobbing past the bear. I'm not sure if Russ is making the smart move here in just sitting in a lane. Everybody seems to be panicking at the moment. Russ sits at 7 now. Russ knows this inside out. You can see that hillside in front. That is the winding road. It cuts round to the right, round to the left, and really does ramp up. And you've got to get the pace right. You go too hard, too early on this climb, you are going to pay a massive price. You're going to be out the back, and that is going to cause you major, major problems when it comes to staying with any kind of front group. Now, Russ on to the climb, sits at 5 watts per kilo, kicks into the climb. Thwaites just up the road, looks like George Cooper on a good ride here, just in the front for the Sherwood Pines. Russ knows you don't want to go too hard too soon on here. Let's jump in with George. George, one of our younger riders and one of our regular riders on the Chaingang from the word go. Good to see George in action, and a member of the DCG gang as well. Sat in with this group. Let's take a little bit of a run up the road and see where Chris is. Chris Idell, of course, of Featherskin, looking pretty smooth. Simon Warren in with the group. Athlete Atherton up here. Stewart in here now. We're moving towards those names that are in at the finish. Hendricks is in here. Good to see Will Colley now. Colley last time out was doing some serious damage to the riders on the climbs, and clearly on this 12% definitely suited him. But we're going to jump up at the moment with Scott Thwaites, who is chasing down a certain Harrison Tacey. Harrison Tacey, a really aggressive rider when it comes to the go. Once that go, go, go goes, he is gone, 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 and he went early here. He's got to respond to this move by Thwaites coming up over the top here. You can see Drybird, the man who wanted it to go over the top last time. Tacey is pushing here. He's put the power up in to get the draft. Now his Drybird's doing the same. They're trying to keep on the wheels here now. The rider in front, that is Alpecin Phoenix rider. That is going to be Scott Thwaites. Thwaites keeping both hands firmly on the bars at the moment as they come to the top of the climb. He's going to level off slightly as they come around the corner, but at the moment it's Thwaites who has this group pulled clear. 3 riders together. Dryberg, Tacey, Thwaites behind then. It looks to me like Riley just chasing hard now. Dryberg just continuing to push on. He's going to be going along the balcony of the route along the cliffside. The left-hand turn you can see on your map is getting company, though. Doesn't want to go too hard too soon. It's a long way back in. Remember, we should finish at 38k if the measurements are to be believed. And at the moment, you can see this group are working really, really well at the moment. And Thwaites just pushing on a little bit on this section here. Dryberg, has he got company from behind? The drone cam just playing silly. What's it? So let's just jump to the side here. This group of 4 riders now stretching. They've got a 4-second gap on Stewart and Potts. So these are the chasing riders. We'll go up to the helicopter just to watch them come through. They are chasing our leaders who are up in front. It looks like they are maybe getting some more company from behind. So Stuart, the man in the GB kit's got Collie with him. So I think Gether and Williams are coming hard behind. And at the moment, the guys are right up at the front. Well, it looks to me like it is Thwaites who's opened the gap up on everybody else. And that really has done some serious damage. We're back up with our leaders. So just in here, this is the leading group. Keith Richardson, Tacey in here. Looks so Tacey is the man who is did all of that early damage. So our time check's just a little bit suspect up the road, and the riders behind chasing hard to try and close those gaps down. Remember, the aim is to cover everybody from when the go-go goes, who are riding in the group with Russ, and Scott Thwaites was literally alongside Russ as the go-go goes. Anybody going off the front prior to that, well, we don't cover them, we try and avoid them. We do have cameras rolling on the very front of it, and we do record it. We'll take a look back a little bit later to see that everybody was in that group now. Driver riding in with this group. He's one of the guys who did that really early work. Let's see if he can hold this group together. Certainly looking smooth here. On his wheels, Scott Thwaites. We're rolling our way around the side of the hillside. We're just going to get that 3D mount. We're then going to drop down left. These gradients go up and down. It's very difficult to hold the group together now behind. It looks like that group has stabilised at about 16 seconds, being led by Buzzard. So this is going to be Group 2 on the road. So this is Buzzard, Hepton, McHenry, Wild, and Archie Ellen in here. So just with Buzzard, who's on the front, they have 18 seconds to our leaders. Behind then, 13 seconds back, we have Collie, Hendricks, Stewart, Hodgson and Williams. 14 seconds behind them then it is the group with Chris Hilbert, Ed Bowley, Alfie Atherton. Looks like Taylor, Andy Bishop not too far away. Looks like Mr. Gilmore chasing along with Dowtry. The group behind this is the group which has got a yellow beacon. That's a Russ Downing in here, and these guys are big size group here. Looks like Simon Warren in this group as well. So Dowtry's in here, Chris Iredale's in here, Topping in here, Hutchinson in this, as well as Lloyd. It really is a big group. Now they have to push on hard here if they want to close the gap down. Let's jump in with Thwaites. Thwaites, of course, this leading group of 5 riders. Can we see anybody behind that gap? Had gone out to about 18 seconds, and at the moment it's looking to me like these 5 riders are going to get this pretty much nailed on as they go down. Nobody in sight in front on the map. That means that these are our leaders just heading down to the bridge. They're going over the water here, and they're going to drop off from the king of the mountains. So this is the leading group just on that long descent. It's 3% at the moment, the downhill gradient. So now the question is, can they be closed down? Can this group of 5 be brought back? They are looking pretty good to me at the moment. They don't look like they want to get pulled in. This gradient, as you can see, this big descent down really quick, 73 kph. It levels off briefly as they come around this turn. Then they're going to be diving down once again. You can see just how quick it is, back up to 73k. You can just see the bridge supports in the background with the King of the Mountains behind it. But these guys down in now, sharp left turn again for the riders. It is very quick indeed, but they've got a long run back under the tunnels. It's 5 riders in the lead. Behind is a chasing group which contains 5 riders as well, and then a little bit further back is a big group of riders containing a further 8 riders, and then another group containing nearer 28 riders. You can see the yellow beacon now in the distance, just coming down from the bridge, coming down on the descent, but this is the distance on the road. It's absolutely huge. And 42 seconds between Wild, who is the main chaser here, and you can just see Wild can see the yellow beacon dropping down the bank behind him. This is the chasing group. They're 40 seconds, 40 seconds to the group in front. Behind, though, it's 18 seconds to group number 3. So group 1 are leaders up the road, and they currently have 45 seconds on this group. This is our chasing group with Wild, McHenry, Hepton, Ellen and Buzzard, along with the man here, John Wild, moving nice and smoothly. Now we drop back to the chasing group behind, just behind them. It's not going to be all that far back. Here we go. You see Hendricks, Stewart, Thorpe, Hodgson, Colley in this group. 9 seconds. This is group number 3. They are 17 seconds on group 2, and they only have 9 seconds. And that is going to be to these riders who are chasing behind. So it's really going to be tight. Our leaders, though, well up the road. So at the moment, this group are chasing our leaders in front. And we're going to just work our way up. So Colley, the group in front, they can see them in front of them. It's 15 seconds. If we take a look back from McHenry, we're just going to take a view back. You can see behind, there are 2 groups behind McHenry here, and they are groups 2 and 3. Now our riders are going to come out into the T-junction. They're going to take the right-hand turn. They're going to have to work really hard here to get to the groups in front. So at the moment, you can just see it's 13 seconds to the group behind. Everybody is really trying to push on here. So as we come around the corner, it's 47 seconds at the moment to Scott Thwaites' group here. This is our leading group at the moment. So Richardson on the front, Thwaites in 2. And it looks like they've lost a rider out of the group here. So Richardson at the moment in 1, Thwaites in 2. In the Alpecin Phoenix kit, Tacey in the grey, currently rolling with... Tacey in the green, rolling with Dryburgh in the grey, and Richardson is pushing on here. He doesn't want to take these guys into the finish. I mean, you wouldn't want to take Scott Thwaites to any kind of finish line where there's a sprint. We know he's fast, and it looks to me like Riley, after that hard work to get into the leading group, being dropped off, and he's going to see that chasing group who are coming quick. Riley now down at 1.8 watts per kilo. Meanwhile, you can just see Richardson has got a slight gap here. It is only 1 second, but this is the gap between them. This is going to be the fight for first, second, third and fourth here on the Donny Chaingang, live on the Down Cycling YouTube channel, and this is going to be really, really tight between these riders at the moment. Richardson's being left out to dry by these guys, and making him do all the work. He kicks in again as we come up on to the climb. You can see that 3% gradient. It's one of the last kicks. It's the steepest kick as you go up over the top. We're going to finish at the gantry, at the line. The distance is ticking on. You can see why we built extra distance into this course, because at the moment looks like Richardson currently approaching that 38k mark, which in theory would have seen us at the finish. This is why we don't follow the blue banners. This is why we go with a proper fixed point. Now the rest behind are finessing, but there's another word for it beginning with F if they're not careful, because they're going to something up it here, because it is definitely getting difficult. We are looking at the gap, and Thwaites has seen the danger. He's trying to pull him across. He's putting the watts per kilo out. Can Dryburgh respond? He can. This could come back together, but look at this. Richardson is responding. This man is going well. Kicking out nearly 600 watts here, 157 beats per minute. He's at 80 revs a minute. So he's not sprinting here. He's just pushing out a massive gear, I think, to get this power down. It's going to level off. He's got the right-hand turn to come. Now, if we go to the 3D map, we haven't got far at all. It's about 800 metres from this point, and this is going to be tight here. It looks to me like Tacey, Thwaites and Dryburgh may well have messed this up. They've let him go too soon. and too far behind. The gap has gone, and they are going to be riding for second place here. Tacey is now responding. He's at 10 seconds, but the distance is coming down. You can see Richardson knows he's going to have this. He's going to see that gantry coming in front. Here's the gantry. It's going to be on him. It's 9 seconds behind, and it looks like Tacey's holding off the sprint behind, but it is Richardson who's going to come across to take it. So Richardson takes first place. Then it's going to be between Tacey coming across in second, Dryburgh and Thwaites are going to come across in third and fourth place. So Harrison Tacey in second, Richardson in first, Tacey in second, the man in green. Then it's Dryburgh and Thwaites in third and fourth place. We are going to try and work our way back up to the group in front. Easier said than done, I'm afraid. At the moment, we are finding that we're jumping about quite a lot with the screen, so apologies for that. We're going to jump in with Russ's group here. This is the group that's come back together, but it has indeed. And as you can see, looks like Archie Allen could well be the rider who just took that. So it was a really tight. Ellen, Hendricks, Gilmore, Hudson, Russ right in there. Hepton in the mix as well. This is a big group who's just come in through the finish. We're going to drop. 4 was a touch. It's quite simple. It's, if you remember having an old-fashioned paper map, this is all about when you go across the folds of the map, things get a little bit interesting. That's what's happening to us here, and apologies for that. So we are just going to try and jump up the groups as this group come round the corner. We may well be able to get into the pack in front. So we're going to work our way back through the groups if we can. It's easier said than done. That's Simon Knight's group just coming in through the finish there. So Simon Knight, Potts, Wayne Barr coming through to finish. Wayne, a new member of the gang. And going through with Crosscast Neil as well. Now, much as I know there are riders up in front and not all that far in front, I'm loath to jump too far in front of them because this is what happens. We lose the group if we're not careful. So another big group coming in towards the finish. Remember, this is all about riding as a group. Going to be some fast times out there. Just in with Ellis. Let's jump in with Ambrose at the moment. So in with David Ambrose, another of our fantastic Donny Chaingang Supporters Club members. The man who's been in from the start, and looks like Ambrose here in with a big push towards line. Brennan, the youngster, pushing hard here. Now another kick here from Brennan, another kick from Ambrose. As Ambrose got the power, it is going to be Ambrose who's going to take this. But look at this, Brennan's not letting him have it, and Craig Herring is coming. He's so close, but today he was a sprat. Not a mackerel. It is going to be Ambrose who took that great ride in there. Real good finish again. Mike Salkow coming through in that group as well. It really is busy out there today on the raid. I've got to say a massive well done to everybody who is out and riding in for the finish. Dan Coleman now on his way in towards line. Coleman ahead of Russ, and then Ambler and Donahue behind. Donahue on a good ride here finishing. So Coleman, then Russ, and then Ambler. Donahue, Coleman again. Garfoot in this group. Radcliffe in here as well. It really is busy in. Bibby just coming in through the line. Charlie Babbitt and Ball coming through. Barry Kipling, another of our early riders on the chain gang. Now this is going to be our next group. Crapper Malin coming in towards the line. Looks like Glue and Abbott now. Who's got the power? Malin's gone for this, and I think he's going to just about get this. So Malin goes through just ahead of Crapper. Then it's going to be Abbott, Glue, and Nunn, and Bolton. Phil Bowes on his way through. Ian Taylor from 1080, just going ahead of Daisy Freer by the look of it. Daisy, none of our regulars on the chain gang. Then it's going to be Edwards just coming in towards the line, chasing Reaney all the way in. Then it's going to be Handley in, another big group coming through. Gregory in there, Micklethwaite in there as well, Gibbons, Harper, Matlock. Huge group just coming in through the line. We're just trying to jump back as fast as we can. I think we're going to see James McLeod coming in this group. I think we've got Gagan in here, one of our winners of those OTE pre-launch products in here. So Hepton and Hall just sprinting it out in front. But you can just see these guys are absolutely nailing it on the way towards the line. And I think it's going to be Hepton and Hall who are in the sprint for the finish. Hall is going to get this. So Hall gets the first place out of this group. Then Hepton, Langmead and Gagan putting in a fantastic sprint there. Coming through right with that group behind. I think Colin Bell just leading out that group for the sprint there. Ahead of Sonia Inslee, another of our OTE winners. Thorne in there, looks like Fraser in this. Wolf, Colin Bell's in the group. Mr. Thorne in here from Bolsover District, another of our gang members, and good to see him in action. Dan Ladle definitely getting off the power nice and quick. We're jumping back to our next duo on the way in. So Mike Killingsworth in the duo here. He's got company though. It's Ted with him. Who's it going to be on the way towards the line here? Ah, look at this. Killingsworth is drag stripping it out. Oh, so tight there. Killingsworth just getting it from Andrew Edwards, and then behind. This is going to be Andrews and Mosley coming through. Then it's going to be Priest. Priest kicking for the line here. So Priest is going to be our next rider coming through just ahead of Alan Parsons. Parsons just takes that from Manier Shade. Foster coming through. We're going to drop back to our next group, currently being led by Finch. Finch, Holmes, Kirkham in this group. Craggle in here. Rafferty in this group as well. Looks like Foxy's in the group. This is going to be our next kick for the liner. They're going to give it a sprint to the finish. I think one or two people will be well aware of where that is. I'm not sure anybody's got any legs left to do too much damage as they come in towards the line here. So it's going to be a roll through, I think, for Finch. It's going to be Holmes, Kirkham, Mosley, Rafferty. Looks like Foxy, the next of our female finishers there. Priest just coming through as well in that group. We're going to drop back a little bit here. I think it's going to be Rudkin in the next group who are heading in towards line. So Nick Rudkin, it's going to be Tonkins in here as well. Now we may well have Mr. Nadoni just up the road. It looks like he's behind to me, so we are just going to let this unfold itself over the map as we just take a little bit of a look around the corner. Looks like he's got company now. So let's jump in with our dynamic duo here. This is Nick Rudkin, so we're riding in with Rudkin at the moment. Rudkin, a DCG gang member. Nick, don't forget, look on your email if you want to be jumping in with Annie and taking part in the talking the Q&A session from OTE. Nick Rudkin in here, Tonkins, and then Wolf behind. Oh, we're going to see another sprint. This is what we want to see. Rudkin just holding him off at the moment. Rudkin, just takes it from Tonkins, who pushed him all the way to the line. Then it's going to be a Wolf behind him. Then Hammond leading this group out. We've got Katie Colclough in here, and it looks to me like Leopard is going to go over the top here. So it is Leopard who takes that. Leopard takes that from Hammond and Colclough coming through. Looks like Nadoni just in the back of that group. We're going to drop back a smidgen here as we just let this sort itself out. We're going to go don't you just love it when that happens? So it looks like our riders are going to be out of that group. Let's try and jump back in with some more of our regulars. Let's jump in with Sandy Smith. We may have to work from the back to the front. So just riding in with Sandy at the moment. And just going to jump in with Kerrigan, because I think Kerrigan on the run in towards finish. Roll Carlin just in front. Which means we are going to go across. Let's try Mr. Kirby. Where's Kirby? He's just in front, I think, Hodgson up the road. So here we go. Apologies, folks, if we missed you on the way through. Always entertaining, trying to jump from rider to rider with 300 riders to go at. So just in with Hodgson on his way towards the line here. as our riders make their way through. Looks like Singleton just going through with Kingston and Kokin in the gap with Salamat. But it's going to be Hodgson, the next rider coming through the line. So it's going to be Hodgson. Behind then it's going to be between Kirby and Phil Jones. Are we going to see a sprint out of Phil Jones? Has he got the power to take Kirby out? Phil Jones, of course, will win it at the OTE prizes as well. But Kirby holding him off there. So Kirby, the winner of the duo under the line. We're going to go back to O'Neill here. So just back with O'Neill, just a run in. And remember, of course, we've got Carlin, Kerrigan, Julie Leodis out there. Looks like Emma and Emma Payne, Dave Hodgkinson, Vicia Kushak out on the road. As O'Neill now pushing in towards the line. So through the line goes O'Neill, just being chased by Rob Carling. You can see Rob in action as well. So Carling, our next rider, coming up to the line, and Rob kicking out 178 watts, 167 beats per minute. Don't forget, guys, keep your eyes on the Facebook pages for where the routes are going next. It is open to join each ride, generally on the Monday, 24 to 36 hours before the ride. We do open it to our members of the DCG Gang Supporters Club. Generally goes open at the weekend for members of the Supporters Club, and we're going to see Julie Leodis putting in a little kick. Come on, Julie, all the way to the line. Never mind sitting back down again. So Leodis putting in a good kick here. 426, 500 watts. I just saw there. 499. Great sprint there from Leodis. Kerrigan, the rider behind. Hope you've enjoyed the chain gang, mate. It's good riding there. 150 beats a minute. 200 watts continuing onwards behind then. This is the next group out on the road. We're just in with the trio. This is going to be Hopkinson. Just riding with Emma Payne of the AEO race team. Donny cycling coach rider, and of course our women's chain gang, our women's Wednesday's chain gang ride leader. And remember, of course, we have a women's Wednesday on the chain gang on this coming Wednesday, and all the details to join that ride, our members already have them, and the rides are open. Just go to the usual link which takes you on to register if you're not a member, and you'll find all the women's rides that are registered all at the moment are open, ready to go. There's a couple that you can join now. So Emma just leading at home, one of our regulars from the very early days, in fact, Vicia Kushak here from Brixton Cycles, riding in on the wheels, and the guys putting in a great ride here. It's going to be Hopkinson, Payne and Kushak who go through. Behind, I think it's going to be Miss Cookie, so Sarah Grimshire, a regular on the rise, a beacon for us as well. And it is going to be Cookie, our next rider, pushing to the line here in Watopia. And 13 seconds clear of a certain Martin Bolt. Mr. Bolt, of course, one of our perpetual red beacons early on, and a man who's jumped into that role on a regular occasion. So Martin's going to be our next rider in through the finishing. Great to see Martin in action. Sorry, Martin, you didn't win any of the freebies, but don't forget, mate, 30% off for DCG Gang members, and Martin Bolt, of course, one of our star men who has joined the DCG Gang and become a member of the Donny Chain Gang Supporters Club. So it looks like a couple of riders out on the road, Stanley Smith and Mr. Turnbull in action, and I think we're going to get a chance to jump across to Russ. I'm guessing he's kind of still turning his legs around somewhere. Are you out there, Russ, turning your legs around out on the course somewhere?
I am, mate. I'm still stuck on the same route, you know. I'm just banging through the Italian village, past the waterfall. Going to jump under and get a quick shower.
I don't blame you, mate. That was some pretty rapid. It held together well, though, to the go.
Yeah, it's very, very well behaved. There's a little period there. I was gonna squeeze the go at 15k to go, but then, you know, the snake happened a bit, so I tried to bring it back together, and then it was like, you know, and then I was spent then. I had it in my head at 15k to drop the phone and drop the flag, but then it got a little bit. So I had to bring it back together, and then they all just went for it. And yeah, that front group was going. I just had a message from Callum Riley, one of our coach riders. Absolutely gutted. He was in that front group, and he dropped a power drop out. So he got dropped.
I saw him go backwards. He was sitting in the group. He'd made his way up there, and then just getting the drop out. And I mean, he's going to be gutted because he's riding very strongly. Of course, I've been a down in cycling coach rider. It always seems to mean a little bit more for those riders somehow.
Yeah, he's so good. Callum's he's had some great progression over the last few years. He was at Wiggins, so he's had some great results, and he's just they're all wanting to race now, in the UK. So this is a great opportunity to have a controlled workout and a bit of a showdown. Thwaites is in there. We've got Harrison Tasty, so there's some great riders kicking out some wattage up that front. So, but I've got to say, we had a great little group behind. So it was good. I think on the running it was great that groups were catching each other. We're never going to catch that front group, and we caught a couple on the running, and that's what I like about these sporting routes. You can get away, but the big boys, you're never going to catch them. But you can all keep peeling people off on the running, and it's great.
It's a great lesson for people to learn, isn't it? Both on Zwift and in real life, that it really does pay to work as a group, because the groups are so much stronger than an individual rider. And it's very rare. I was listening to Magnus on some of the commentary from one of the classics, and he was saying, you're gambling, going out and racing and being a breakaway rider, and the odds of being brought back are huge. But when it pays off, it really pays off.
Yeah, everything's so calculated, and now everyone knows, what they can ride for amount of time. So it's like, if something's looking, he's riding away, he's going too fast, then, sometimes it is, and they just explode. But it's great to have all these calculations on a bike now. People, can we do this? Can we do that? And it's great. It's the classic. Directors have said to me in the past, never give in. Keep fighting back. If you think you're in 50th position, you might get back to a group that's going for 10th on the road. So keep fighting all day, and if you're 20 minutes down, just roll in with the gruppetto. But if you think you're in with a shout, just keep rolling.
Definitely, and we've got so many riders progressing so much. I mean, we're seeing improvements time and time again, and I mean, you only need to look at some of these really, really fast guys. They are improving week on week on week, aren't they? And they really are putting in some serious pace, and that's what we want to see. We want to see our riders improving, and we see new riders coming along and improving time and time again.
Yeah, so that group at one bit, half an hour in, it was massive, that group, and everyone was, the numbers weren't low, we weren't cruising along. The numbers were hovering around under threes, slightly over sometimes, but we're flying along at like 50 odd k an hour. So, everyone's getting it, now. Stay tight in the blob, and you get some great PRs and maybe some Stravas along the way.
Yeah, just seeing one man who we know can be right up there, Sandy Smith. He's just come diving down, just trying to get his timing right to pick up Mr. Turnbull here. So good to see Sandy. He's going to be getting a workout, isn't he, riding with Dominic Turnbull here?
Yeah, Sandy would have absolutely loved that today. That effort's right up his street. He can punch it, cruise down the other side, and I think he might have been able to hold that front group tonight, but he gave his ride up to ride in the Red Beacon Park bus, and cheers for that, Sandy, and we'll see you next week for a rip-up maybe.
I think so. We've got some great riders, and hopefully some great routes planned. We're not going to let everybody into that. We can tell people we've got a lot on next week. It is going to be absolutely manic, isn't it? We've had OTE week all this week, and we've got lots of great giveaways. We've given away already 10 hydro packs, the orange hydro tab packs. We're also, of course, on Monday going to be doing the draw for Ben Swift's National Champions jersey. So that's going to be really interesting to see who gets that out of the club members. We've also, of course, on Tuesday then got the Donny Chaingang. We've got the Open Chaingang. On Wednesday, we've got Women's Wednesdays on the Donny Chaingang. On Thursday, we've got the Open Chaingang. On Friday, we've got the OTE Talk, which is coming to everybody from OTE Annie Simpson. That's on the Friday. I think you and me better get a bit of a lay down the weekend, mate.
I think we should have a weekend off, So you mentioned Swifty's jersey's the first thing on the thing on Monday, and he flies out to Paris tomorrow. Been out with him the last couple of days, and he's in good shape. And he said we'd just like to thank everyone for joining the DCG gang, and hope someone really enjoys that jersey and say it's an Ineos Castelli signed jersey. It does look the part,
Definitely. Definitely, and it's signed by Ben as well. And as you say, heading off to Paris-Nice on Monday. And I know you were, like you say, you were out riding with him, and he's been a supporter of the Chaingang and a regular on Chaingang. And he's not always been at the front ripping it up, has he? He has been literally riding around with people, enjoying the ride.
About enjoying it, miss. That thing's brutal, he says, So it shows you. We had a joke about it today. I told him where we were going today, and he was like, "Oh, that sounds nasty." So I'm sure he'll be back when he gets an hour out of his schedule, and he'll come back and show his face.
Definitely it'd be good to see him, and good luck to all of the members of the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club in that draw for the jersey. Don't forget, of course, if you're in the club, join Russ and Annie and myself. We're going to be really interested in listening to that talk. The links are in the members' emails that arrived in their inboxes. And don't forget, of course, if you're a member of the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club, the DCG gang, not only are you going to get the giveaways, you get the discount codes, you get the chance to win lots of great goodies, exclusive things like National Champions jersey, but you're also making the Chain Gang happen. And we've got to say a massive thank you to everybody for their support, haven't we?
Yeah, without those guys keeping the show on the road, we nearly a year ago now, we set this up with 30, 40 riders per night, and we wouldn't have thought, a year down the line we're going to be getting 300 riders per night, and then, we just want to look after the members that are making it happen. So, we keep communicating with companies and some of the sponsors and supporters and myself that they want to really keep the DCG on the road. So, big thanks to all those guys, and hopefully we can keep that list growing and we can keep passing the rewards back down.
Definitely, and I mean, when you think of people like, we've got Caroline Mansfield from Pretty Gritty, who is riding the Chain Gang along with Neil Mansfield. We've got Chris Idale riding from Velaskin. Annie's ridden from OTE. The list goes on and on, doesn't it? I mean, people like 1080, Ian Taylor regularly riding the Chain Gang, and these guys are the people who make the sport, aren't they?
Yeah, I did have a bit of communication this week with Ben Jenkins from Vantore Coffee, and I think he goes away to Paris this weekend. But the rumour is he's going to steal a Wahoo out of the Ineos truck and come and join us when he comes back. So that'd be good to have Ben on board as well. But when all the sponsors come on board and enjoy it, shows we're doing something right.
Definitely, and that's what we want on the DCG gang, isn't it? We don't just take anybody on board, and there's some people we want to take on board and join with that we can't, and that's much as we would like to. Sometimes there's a clash with another sponsor or similar, but we are looking at people who really are passionate and who care. And like you say, it wouldn't surprise me to see Ben out on the bike and up at the front, even though he doesn't ride all that often.
Yeah, he does enjoy it, and it's a big juggling act now. It's all great, and we just want it to keep. We say it's growing and growing, but where can we go with it? It's just great, and we're all having fun, which is the main thing.
Definitely, and there's been some fun finishes to call today on the run in, and it looks like Sandy and Dominic are on the way into the finish. So Russ, we'll let you get some recovery, some OTE recovery down your neck, and we'll no doubt catch up prior to our giveaway of Ben's jersey.
Yeah, so have a great weekend, everyone, and hopefully the weather is a bit better than it turned into this afternoon, and we'll have a good weekend.
Cheers, Russ.
Cheers, guys.
So great to hear from Russ there towards the end of the ride. We're following in our two riders out on course. We're in with Turnbull at the moment. So Dominic Turnbull is going to be leading home our red beacon, Sandy Smith. So let's zoom in on Mr. Turnbull here. Dominic Turnbull going to be pushing into the line. He's kicking out 2 watts per kilo, putting in a great ride to finish here. And this is what it's all about. We are here for all of our riders, and it's going to be a proper sprint in as well. So Dominic Turnbull kicking up to those watts. And well done, mate. Congratulations completing the Donny Chaingang behind the man that we knew was going to do a great job, Sandy Smith, our Red Beacon. Don't forget, if you want to volunteer for the Red Beacon, we have a rota running from the members, the people who ride. Anyone can volunteer for that. If you think you can be the bus driver at the back and take the Red Party bus out and round, then get in touch on the Facebook page with Gail Phillips, and Gail doing the spreadsheet supremo's job of making sure that it all is stitched together and we get the right people at the right times. So a big thank you to Sandy, our Red Beacon. So from me, Matt Payne, here in the studio, a big thank you to everybody who's ridden. A big thank you to Russ, of course, who has been our yellow beacon once again. And Russ and myself working hard to make it all happen. And we've got a busy week next week. So remember, if you try and get in touch with us, don't do it 2 minutes before the Chaingang. We won't answer the phone or anything, I promise you, because we will be flat out on the run-in. We've got great giveaways coming up. We've got Halo wheels coming over there somewhere. We've got Vela skin coming up. We've got OTE at the moment. A massive thank you to Annie, to Mr. Slater, and all of the guys at OTE. Their kit keeps us fueled up. Literally, I am here with this. This is what keeps me talking all the way through. And I've got to admit, somewhere around here, there's a wrapper for a duo bar, I think, hidden away. I think I put it out of the way so people can see it. But it does keep us fueled up. It keeps us on the road. It can do the same for you. Make sure you go onto the website. A big thank you to the guys at OTE. They are absolutely critical to keeping this show on the road, and there's a big discount, 30% if you're a member of the gang. So basically, your £20 for joining the gang for the month will soon come back, and you get lots of goodies, loads of discounts, and loads of access to exclusives on the Chaingang. So from me, Matt Payne, from Russ Downey, from our Beacons, and from, of course, all of our gang supporters, a big thank you for watching. We'll see you next week for the next Donny Chaingang live on the Downey Cycling YouTube channel.